Yo, as much as I would like to be able to do this whole YouTube thing um, in a more structured way, even though I like doing it just free like this, meaning freestyle, I guess you would say, freestyle YouTubing. I'm gonna coin that phrase, TM after it, nobody bite off of me. This is called freestyle YouTubing, which people have been doing for the longest and were doing before it, all of the editing and stuff, but yeah, maybe nobody had that phrase. So as much as I would like to be able to do that, what I do appreciate, however, is like what just happened in between the last video, which I checked back and that was part 3 of this. Hold on now, because now I was watching uh, X Files. Give me a minute, because I gotta look at what the title of this thing is again, because I don't want to just say it and have it all messed up, though you see it in the title script or whatever. So this is part 3 of making your bus, box truck, etc. Nomad life series. By me, your host, the director of the Illuminati, overt director rather. I should have said that in the beginning one. Beyond Above the Black director, um, overt director, overt president of the Illuminati government. Predada S, if I didn't say Predada S already. So now, I guess I'll get in the habit of, like I said, what I was gonna do is asking you guys to subscribe and hit the notification bell and spread the love of my channel to your friends, family, and other people. And there's 3 things, right? Subscribe, like, and like. Oh, and help me in whatever ways you can. And as I always say, getting until I can get some type of links. Then whatchamacallit, like just email me at the email address that's under the about section, or might under the about section of the channel, and possibly, if I remember to, in the description of the video. And so a number of videos back, I was saying about how I don't use the PayPal link that you'll see if you go to my Facebook is I don't know if it's still active. So what I forgot to mention a number of videos back, because I jump around so much on so many tangents, is call me first, or notify me first or whatever, and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about trying to send you something through PayPal, whether it be work, donation, or whatever. Because through PayPal you can pay for any work that I might do for you, say online or whatever the case might be. But you want to check with me to make sure that I'm actually going to be able to receive it, because I haven't checked, because remember I said I haven't messed with them. And but yeah, some other course would be better, some other course or method rather. So now what I was saying was, I was talking about how doing the motorhome life thing, bus life, whatever you want to call it, truck life, box truck life, is like getting into organized crime. But I mean, I'm gonna remember where I left off with that. But the reason I said why I even though I would like to do it more professional, whatever you want to call it, the editing and all this stuff, the reason I like the freestyle stuff is things happen in between video tapings. You notice, if you've done anything in life, when you make a video, whether it's for YouTube or just in general, if you plan on making a part 2 to it, and especially if you plan on making a part 2 to it, and filming that part 2 directly after part 1, sometimes you get distracted or something happens. And so for me, there was noise in the background, so I couldn't keep making the video because it would have interfered, And So I decided to watch a episode of X-Files. And so I was just finding it so interesting how they mix it up so much, and how sometimes it's like, come on, what are they doing? But then as you keep watching, it's like, wow, this is crazy. It's really an iconic series, just on the basis of how much they mix things up with things that other people don't normally talk about, whether it was actual X-Files or not. And so like, I'm trying to meld this into the whole your agenda thing, where I left off with the whole organized crime thing. There's not a solid way to do that. I was left with a feeling, because I was in the middle of the episode, the noise in the background stopped, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to finish that episode later because I'm losing daylight. And I appreciate now how, when I was doing like background acting work, the directors or whatever, they'd be like, oh, come on people, come on, we gotta go, because we're losing daylight. It's like, just like I say, the minutes pass, look, 6 minutes have passed already. The sun comes up and goes down real quick. Give me just a moment, because something... Okay, I got a message from something. Okay, so let's see how I can make these relations and keep this topic moving, because this is number 4, so it's gonna be like dice, CeeLo. I think that's CeeLo, right? 4, 5, 6. And so there's gonna be a 4, 5, and 6. I'm gonna try to finish off for the now part, the whole your agenda stuff. And then I guess when I get more data next month, which maybe I'll be able to start filming again in like another week or something like that, or 2 weeks, because I gotta go back to doing the temp stuff and picking up garbage and make some kind of money to pay bills and everything. Unless, of course, one of you just suddenly subscribes and sends me $1 billion or $1 trillion. Quadrillion? Then I could just keep making YouTube videos. I would love to be able to do that. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said, hey, I would just like to be able to do this. There's so much potential here to make, a person feel like, have self-worth. Like, my important journey... Let me move back off the camera somewhere. I'm like all up in your face, right? My important... actually, I was closer because I don't have a microphone to wear on me. So I'm trying to make sure that the thing is loud enough. But then that means I got to be closer, and my image is going to be bigger. It's like you can't win. Got to have all of the stuff you're supposed to have. Just like when going into bus life. Okay, so what was I going to say? I was saying I would like to be able to do this, because it, like with when I first started making music, which was when I was little, so we won't count that so much, except for when I had to go at it real hard for the album that I made, An Ounce and a Half, which is on, like, you can buy that and stuff. So you just look up Predada S, An Ounce and a Half album, and you'll see it on different platforms. I'd appreciate it if you bought that. When I was making that, that's one of the few times in my life where I was like, oh, I feel like a man, because I'm doing something. I'm not working for someone else. I own my label, except it's owned by the Illuminati, but I run it for the Illuminati, but I'm the owner, on paper, however you want to say. You know how this secret society stuff goes. So now, I'm not working for somebody else, and I'm doing something just of myself. It's not even a product, like a product, physical product. It's like just my thoughts. It's like I'm conveying my thoughts, and I'm going to put this, and I made my own music. I didn't use someone else's music, though I would like to be able to do that, but it wasn't working out. People weren't working along with me. And so I used my music. I came out of my mind, my heart, same thing, my lyrics and all of that stuff. I wrote all of those. I haven't done other people's lyrics yet. So, at that point, it's like, if I start making money, but this is going back about 20 years ago, say 19 or 4 or 5 years ago now, when I made an ounce and a half. The first version of it was in late 98 or 99, something like that. And so I was like, I start making all this money, and then I can do all of the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And so, going back to discussing like people who are out there who are billionaires now from music or whatever, it's like, I think I just got a tiny glimpse of what they were feeling before it started working out. But remember, a lot of people, they did other things before they started doing music, so they already had money that they just didn't really discuss, and it helped them get the music made. And so they were already in that mode of feeling like a man. But maybe it's true to say, in a sense, there's a part missing, because if you're not, I'm gonna say we as black people, I'm gonna speak from that perspective for a moment, to say it like this. Like when you talk about black operations and stuff like that, that's usually reserved for non-black people who work for the government, G-men or whatever, and they're deep cover and all of this stuff, and they're getting paid. And so, if they do something where they're making money and it's deep cover and they're getting paid, they feel like a man already because of that whole aura of it. But like, say for instance, you're doing something illegal as a black man and you're making money, or black woman, whatever, and you're making this money and you have all this money nobody knows about. It's like you could say, oh, I feel like a woman, but you're doing something that can't be on the books. And not because it's, working for some intelligence service, but because it's illegal, and if you get caught, you're screwed. And so there's a part of you that I'm going to imagine feels like a woman or feels like a man, like you're supposed to feel. But then there's a part of you is like, I won't really get the gist of that feeling until I'm doing something that's on the books, where people can say, yo, this guy is a billionaire. Yeah, just look at his net worth and all of that stuff. And I don't think I'm too far off with saying that's probably how that goes. I wish I could make this camera, like the top part of my head is not showing, and I didn't really adjust it different since the last of the video. Anyway, so 1223 in. So let me get onto this thing, like, okay, the organized crime thing. So, when you do illegal stuff, I guess I'm on that segue. When you do illegal stuff and you're getting money from it, it's like, even if you want to leave, it's like you're already, you're in this community already, and you're in this way of life, and trying to go from that way of life to maybe just going and getting a job and leaving every aspect of it, the people, what you've experienced, all that behind, is like almost impossible. And so it's the same thing as doing this bus life. Oh, and plus the financial aspects of it. Because like if you go back to working at a regular job, your whole life can fall apart from coming from, doing something illegal that you were making a lot of money at. Because you amassed, maybe you bought a house, with the money, or you bought a nice place, you bought a nice car, and you still got to pay insurance on it and stuff, even if you don't have payments on it. And you got to, pay property taxes on the house, all that stuff like that. So it's like, if you go get a regular job now, you're not likely to find one that's going to have the amount of money coming in or give you the amount of time, free time you had, in a manner of speaking, to support your new lifestyle with this nice house and stuff. And it's like, it pulls you back in over there to the other stuff because you need to get that money coming back in. But that's, illegal activities aren't something you can jump in and out of, because it's like, I don't know how to say it, it's like a baby, just like starting a business. If you get that up and running and everything's okay, you leave it and you come back to it, the whole law enforcement aspect of things isn't the same anymore. And if you've been out of the loop, you come back, next thing you know, you're locked up, or something worse happens to you. If you can say that that's worse than being locked up, you know what I mean? So now, the same thing applies to the bus life thing. So you want to start out, now specifically speaking for a moment about agenda, your agenda. This life, this lifestyle, being a nomad, whether you're completely living in a vehicle or more like I am, working on the road all the time, and you at least kind of sort of have some a base to go back to once or twice a year, which is basically my situation, kind of, without going into it too deep, then it's the first thing I should say is it's incredibly difficult. That's being mild. It's almost impossible. It's not something you do as a game or a joke or a dare, or you're bored, or what is that, midlife crisis, or because you're elderly and you want to see the country you're in and stuff like that. This is not for that. The agenda you should have is in line with what I do as a counterterrorism operative, amongst the other things, black operations aspects of it, which is, how do I say this? Okay, like, I guess the closest example I can give is, let's say, if you're an intelligence officer and you're a foreign intelligence, that's more specific, that's better. If you're foreign intelligence, then you're going to be away from home most of the time, if not almost all the time. You're going to be, some foreign intelligence officers don't even have a home because they're on the road so much and in other countries so much, or other places on other worlds and other dimensions is that serious so much, so often, that becomes their lifestyle. It's like, maybe they have like a, you've seen it, like I think a good example is whatchamacallit, with Sydney Bristow and Jack, I think it's Jack Bristow, Alias, the TV show, where you see her father, Jack, has all these different, buildings that aren't necessarily owned by CIA in other countries, but places he can stash things and get to almost anywhere on the globe he is. And that's what this basically is. So if you're approaching being a nomad, and this is going to be good, I guess, because this is 4 going into 5 and 6 as far as agenda. I think I'm on a good vein here. If you're going to be looking to be a nomad, that should be your goal. But it's the funniest thing because, and you know what? Let me bend this thing up some, because I swear not being able to see most of my head is driving me crazy. Okay, so most of the people who want to be nomads or whatever, you could say they're a hair away from being like anti-establishment. I think that's the proper term for it. Now I'm getting addicted to trying to fix that thing. I even wish I could move back more. Kind of really can't. And now it feels like it's too high up. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so anti-establishment. So this, I know I jump all over the place, but I just got to do this again for a second, which is the whole Bigfoot UFO thing. Yet people believe in Bigfoot, but they don't believe in UFOs and vice versa, when all of it is related, and people can't see the bigger picture or deal with any of it correctly unless they see that all of that stuff, everything from magic, spirits and all of these aliens and other worlds and dimensions, all of that is intertwined, and you can't know one without the other. So the same thing goes for, when you're a nomad. If you're a nomad, you're basically an intelligence officer who's exploring, right? So it's kind of like working for NASA and going to other planets. So it's like being a NASA intelligence officer. You go into these other places you've never been to before, and you're trying to figure out how to reside there, at least for a short period of time, and take in everything that's there, and then utilize what's there to help you survive or move on to your next goal, which is like a next mission. Look, even though there's only 40 seconds left, I feel like this is perfect. 30 seconds. Okay, so you want to get out of the frame of mind of being anti-establishment and be in the frame of mind that all things such as government, black ops, and the desire to be free are all connected. And with that, I'm going to jump right into the next video, hopefully.